It leaves no stone unturned. It asks the hard questions. It uncovers every secret that's worth uncovering. Liberia's upliftment is its prime objective. The program nothing to hide. It digs deep into the minds of the guests and brings out the facts. Nothing to hide. It will addresses no issue. It sees no sacred cow. It believes that a government or nation of the people must not work in secrecy. It's on Sky 107.1, Monday to Friday, 3 to 4 o'clock p.m. If we love Liberia, we will be sincere in our dealings with one another. It leaves no stone unturned. It asks the hard questions. It uncovers every secret that's worth uncovering. Liberia's upliftment is its prime objective. The program is nothing to hide. It digs deep into the minds of the guests and brings out the facts. Nothing to hide. It will addresses no issue. It sees no sacred cow. It believes government or nation of the people must not work in secrecy. It's on Sky 7.1, Monday to Friday, 3 to 4 o'clock p.m. If we love Liberia, we will be sincere in our dealings with one another.
Welcome to another edition of the program, Nothing to Hide on Sky 107.1. Welcoming you on this edition. Today is a very important day in history, in our lives of those of us who are Africans. We know that today is the day of the African child. It's a very, very, very important day. Important because things are gradually changing in the lives of African children. But historically, it's a day that reminds us of a number of things. But that's not the discussion we have right now. We're going to be having right now in the studio. Our discussion this afternoon is about this COVID-19 thing. And we cannot play with health issues the way political issues are played with in this country. So we've invited Mr. Chester Smith. He's from the Information Management System and is here to tell us, give us, information, statistics as recorded by That's right. This is Nothing to Hide. Welcome to it. Good afternoon, and a pleasant welcome if you're there watching us anywhere around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching anywhere around the world. You're listening to Nothing to Hide on Sky 107.1. And we are here Monday to Friday, 3 to 4. Protect the children. The t-shirt I'm wearing. I attended a program today, and I'm also an African. So I respect this day. Is a very special day in the lives of my children and in the lives of every child out there that is going through a number of things, because the story of African children is always a story of walking several miles to go to a high school, to go to school. It's a story of children walking several miles to go to a health center just to get paracetamol. It's a story of children, poor, ordinary people, children, by the way, attending schools, going to public schools where government is not funding properly. The story of the African child is a very painful story. So when this day comes, it's but just the right thing for all of us to commemorate in whatever way we can. But how can you do it? How do you celebrate this day? You make a donation. On this day, make a donation to the orphanage community, in whatever way you can impact the lives of some African children. On this day, you can also volunteer. All right. So I managed to get a few things that you can basically do on this day. You can volunteer this day uh, by maybe to a school and helping to give out education to some other young people. Make a donation, volunteer at a local school, and you know because it's a very important thing. If you do that, you can be able to at least touch some lives. But our African governments need to wake up and ensure that they prioritize the energy, the youthful energy in Africa, in ensuring that this continent, of course, there is still that particular narration yesterday that was going on several years back, that Africa is a dark continent. Is the darkness fading away? It is not the physical dark that you can talk about. I think it's about our mindset. We should first of all enlighten ourselves. Then there will be an illumination everywhere in Africa. I hope this day is observed by a number of you out there and respecting the children out there. Those of you who are trafficking children, how do you traffic? You traffic children, you take them from the various villages, and you say, yes, you can, you come to Morovia, I'm going to send you to school. You bring the kids to Morovia, you're showing that we get rid of all of those things. But right now, we're talking about a pandemic that is raging, has everywhere around the world. It's affecting a number of things, economies, education, and everything. The COVID-19 pandemic. As if the nation had not gone through a lot already in fighting against this virus, now we are getting report of a new variant. It's called B117. It's good that we have a risk communication lead, a payload lead specialist here to give us information on that. The nation is already trying to gradually eradicate the previous one that was surging all over here and destroying a number of things. But here we are. We have now waken up to another development, which is saddening. Where could this lead us as a nation? What can we do to get rid of it? Chester Smith is here to help us in navigating through these, troubling situations right now in our country, particularly this health issue. Chester, it's a pleasure joining us this afternoon on a short notice. Good afternoon.
I mean, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be here in Sky FM again once more. This is my home.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one of the first employee in this place here.
Yeah.
I remember way back then, in 2004. And so it's an honor being here, and it's a family home. But we are here on a more serious note. I mean, COVID, like you stated earlier in your statement. It's a moment. It's so troubling, and we like to emphasize this to our public that we need we need all hands on deck at the moment. At the moment, our statistic right now on COVID infection is so scary. Right now, we stand.
It's so
just
scary.
In the last 24 hours.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
Is that as to communicate anyway. I know that.
No,
you're giving us the information exactly.
We must begin to say
what makes it scary.
We've had 3 times what we call waves now. The first and second wave in 2020. In 2020, we were able to continue the cases in the 2 waves. More often we were at These cases, 62 coming down, and we drop tremendously. Within the last 24 hours,
24 hours.
we have had 154 cases.
Confirmed?
Confirmed cases. Right now in the country, yesterday, we are at 385 active cases in country. Today, we had 529 active cases. It tells you the infection is at its exponential increase. And we must begin to say this. Until we take this very seriously, we are just from the Star-based treatment unit, the theme of journalists, and you begin to see the videos out now, but we are protecting our clients in terms of recognizing them. But you see over 38 Liberian professionals, also they are lawyers, they are doctors on oxygen right now, lying there. And there's a reason why we took the journalists on a gala tour. Because the journalists, they are our partner in this business. They should be confident of what we say in order to be very sure in giving those information to the public.
Right.
At the moment, Liberia now stands at 2,729 confirmed cases in country. We also have 95 deaths. We have 15 deaths just within 2 weeks. Unprecedented.
Is it the new variant that we're hearing about as causing this, or is it same
The infection is not the exponential increase. It's not about this variant. We only have one case of this variant.
The new variant.
The new variant. Only one case, and that is being managed and contained. Now we have isolated that patient, and that patient is responding. However, most of the cases we see right now are all outgoing travelers, people who are live here, people who have no travel history. So then we think about it. What is going on? Again, our people, what is going on? Our people are refusing adherence to the health protocol.
Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Chester, you are from the incident management system.
Yeah.
And you are a risk communication pillar lead at that area. So communication is something that also plays a vital role in providing prevention to this virus.
Yeah.
You talk about some over 200 confirmed, 2,000 plus confirmed cases in country. How do you manage the confirmed cases? How does the health system authority work in managing the confirmed cases? This person has the virus. Where do they stay while they're being treated? Where do you have them?
Currently, we managed in the two different procedure, meaning forms where we have the treatment unit and we have what we call the home-based care.
Yeah.
So the treatment unit is just what I was just telling you about. The Star base, we have the 42 military hospital which is being used. When people are at critical state, we isolate them. We take you there. We have what we call the precautionary observation center. Then we have the treatment unit. Now you must come down showing all signs of the COVID infection, yet your case is not severe. So what we do, we ask you so that you cannot infect other people and continue to infect other people. Now, when this thing, see how we can manage the case in sterilizing you until you can be discharged. However, when the case becomes severe, we take you to that treatment unit. People are now at the mercy of oxygen. It takes $2,000 to manage each of those patients.
$3,000.
$2,000.
Okay,
Do we have it as a country and people? We say no.
What do you need $2,000 to manage each of the patients?
The seleniums.
For how long?
You have to change the selenium for a day.
For a day?
10% 10 selenium on a patient a day. Now, when you tell our people,
no, the 2,000 is for a day.
It's for a day for the patient. The seleniums are expensive.
A confirmed patient.
A confirmed who is severe in a treatment unit. We are telling our people, prevention is better than cure. Avoid this shaking hands. Wear your mask. Avoid crowded places. We cannot so stop. This is the reason why we continue to experience the level infection. And worst of it, you have this very disingenuous attitude on the part of some people who are now being treated, who were informed that your test came up positive. They are cutting off the phones and they go to Harley. How can we stabilize the country with this level of pandemic?
Now, Chester, I am not at that level yet in communication, right? But you come from the risk communication angle of the incident management system to a population that pandemic we are fighting is deadly. But some people have escaped from us. We cannot see them. They are amongst you people. What did people take into consideration before releasing such information out to the public? And what are some of the effects that you think people are now, getting from such? Because by breaking that news, it speaks to a number of things in the minds of people.
I don't know the connotation of the interpretation of that, but the intent of sending out that news, because it's becoming very, very, very abnormal. Our people need to know that we have infection transmission within our communities. More so, the attitude of people who are being told that you are COVID positive, you need to come for treatment. Instead of you taking cognizance of coming and adhering to treatment to save your family and to save Liberia, you go into Harlem, change your number. They call you because there's a long list of sheet that we request various information in terms of where you live, in terms of who associated. So just in case you are indisposed, you can get the persons. You'll be very surprised. People phones will reach when you request someone they answer and you ask for this person. I don't know how. I don't know you. How is this possible?
When you test a person, how long does it take for you to give them the result?
Yeah, our lab system right now, unlike we used to send specimen to Dakar, the United States government, and other friendly nations, they have now helped us with the national reference lab. We have the capacity now to detect or diagnose a specimen just in 24 hours, on like 72 hours. So we can do that. But now on the issue of COVID is not written upon anybody's face, especially the mild COVID. It's not written on my face that you got it right now. I say because severe. So we will do that. They will call PCR test. There are two different tests. We got a laboratory and PCR test. PCR is expensive. We hear a lot of people talking. Why the people can do PCR tests and know that? Yes, if we're doing PCR tests on the spot, you get the results on the spot. When we're doing laboratory testing, you have to take that specimen. Do you know where the lab is? It's way in Charlesville. So in that process, we now list the very information of the client, so as to inform you your status.
You now let's look at it from this angle. Chester, you are doing risk communication, you are doing incident management, as a group of people. Someone comes to you, you conduct a test, and you leave that person to go home, placing a phone call to them that you need to come for your result. Is that how you do it, or you tell the person?
But that's why we're obtaining.
But if he can do it within 24 hours, why not, because of that person's own life, why not keep the person around until the result can come up? And whatever way, you don't let the person go. Why do you allow people leave?
In the first place, this thing is voluntary testing. Our law does not provide us apprehending people for medicine, except on our public health law that you willfully taught to affect others. But in this instant case, you cannot say the person has willfully done it, because they came to do a test to know the status, and we don't have the capacity in terms of our DT's test in the bonus. It's expensive.
So in the absence of the person getting the result, they switch their phone over, you can get them back.
No, most often we will call them now. Oh, Mr. James Brown or John Doe. You took your test so time. The results is out. You are positive. We will advise that you come for the treatment. COVID is not
on the phone.
But what do you do? What do you do?
How about
we are not a country that have numbering system.
No, but Chester, if you call me and tell me, God forbid, Matthias, you stopped by the other day and you came down with XYZ disease. You need to come at the hospital now and start your treatment and all of that. And maybe this is something that requires that I have to stay there for a very long time. They just the name COVID-19. Chester, you know the fear it instills in people. Is it proper to place? Is it proper?
This way,
let's get it. Let's get it straight.
This is unfortunate.
But is it proper for you to call someone on the phone and say I'm positive?
You don't
To
live
tell
in
you're
my
positive
house.
on the phone?
You don't live in my house. What do we tell you? That you are what?
When someone comes for testing, what are some information you get from
first we get your contacts, we get your location you live, we get people who closer to you, we get possible the parents, your closer family member, and all. They put those things, they fill them up to get those people. Now the website, they will tell the contacts that they have there, anybody call you and don't answer your phone. This is the trouble we have.
But you have the location of the place.
You got location. Locate that house number mark. Okay, we keep for James Brown will live on Snapper Hill here. No James Brown, Snapper Hill is a big place. We need to look at it from the very.
This is getting really scary.
It is scary. We never said it's scary, and we need to let this thing known to our people so that we can begin to take practical steps. And the practical steps are: one, avail yourself for testing. What's wrong with you testing? COVID is just not a death sentence. When you test it early, you save your family, you save your own life, you save the country. But they will do that willfully, and they will refuse to accept the results, and they will go on transmitting the COVID infection to other people. This is wrong.
Just this whole thing, the government is responsible to protect the lives of every citizen of this country.
Sure.
People running around, people this and that. Few articles I've read internationally. Governments around the world took draconian decisions or actions against their people just to ensure that they adhere to the preventive measures. Now that you're experiencing this particular thing, people are running away from you. What are the things that you people are discussing to ensure that you apprehend some of the people that have left you in ensuring that they take their treatment? They are getting in touch with people every day.
First thing, what we've done right now, we have now activated a robust community engagement with the community leaders and the various groups within the community to begin to do active search for ill people in community. Because
any ill person, any illness,
we gotta search. We will not know. We will not do the test. We gotta do the test to know whether it's a COVID or is some other underlying condition. So we think by working with the community structures, we will begin to weed out these runaway persons. Secondly, all options are on the table. We have our public health law that clearly states in time of such epidemic and people who willfully, knowingly go and infect other people. His Excellency would say hats off to the president. The president on day before yesterday held an emergency SPACO meeting. SPACO meeting is that ministerial governmental high level committee that discussed issues of the health system and that involves the cabinet members and all other specialists and experts. So that meeting was held. There's a follow-up meeting with the joint legislature of which the Minister of Health, which is the chairperson of the incident management system, had with the both Senate and legislature and House of Representatives on yesterday. We are beginning. We expect in the soonest possible time that the government would now resume again to the cabinet meeting. A decision we made, because if you look at the path the government is taking, I think that they are on the right path in terms of how we can all put hands on deck to get into our people who are running away with this attitude to affect other people. So,
what can you say about communication? Have you done enough communication to ensure that people continue to adhere to the preventive measures? When this started, Chester, don't get me wrong now the government, you remember that there were many times repeated briefings were being held. The Minister of Information, the Minister of Health, and every other person concerned with this particular health issue were always briefing and providing some words of consolation to the people. Why did you stop?
In the first place, what we write down, what we've done to elevate this is we had just a day ago on Monday, what we call a 3-part series with elaborate media owners, session managers, producers. They were there. Those we have the next part, of those who are not there will be there. The essence of that meeting is to inform and have the media have a walkthrough of the workings of the incident management system. Look at the progress what we've done since 2020 of March 16, the challenges and how the media can help us. And this is what brings us to the point that you, Mr. Brown, you have that responsibility, that social responsibility to help us also, because before you became journalists, you are a librarian already. We also work, I would say, all hands on deck. So we beginning to see how we elevate this argument. But meanwhile, we have got to remain very grateful to our partners that have been very supportive in airing our jingles, and we were continuously on the air with the issue of COVID vaccination, calling our people to turn off of a vaccination. Yet people were reneging. People were reneging all around, and we have 96,000 doses in the country. Can we exhaust it before July 10? You'll be very, very surprised.
Is the vaccine available?
The vaccine been available since March.
Because
the roll out the first dose started since April 1.
it's good you are here, Chester, because I'm receiving calls every day. I'm receiving calls every day on the show that people have gone to places for vaccine and they tell them the vaccine is not.
And I bet you when the first dose has expired. We had the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Some people went there when the first dose expired.
Come on, get me right.
I don't understand.
The AstraZeneca vaccine requires 2 doses to be fully protected.
Yeah.
We have from April to May 31st.
The first dose.
For the first dose. Surprise you to know. We had all the banners. We have all the radio shows, announcements carrying on. We have moving stages going all around, telling the people you can go to Redemption Hospital, you can go to JFK, you can go to JDJ, you can go to Kelly Hospital, you can go to SOS, you can go to Jomande, you can go to ERDA, you can go to 14 Minutes Hospital and take your vaccine.
It's free.
Free. We even with this step there, we use mobile teams. We went to churches, we went to community groups that were above 20 because it's 10 in the vows the person that we take. And we did that. Yet and still people did not come out as we expected. From now, the incident management system, okay, let's see how we can open it up for another week to allowing people come, yet and still. We've now commenced the second dose on June 1st. At current, 582 persons
have taken the
second dose. We have up until July 10th to let go of the vaccine.
You talk about life expectancy of the vaccine.
Yeah.
Is it just a period of 1 month? In 1 month time, the first dose expire? Is that how is it?
No, this time when I said the time set, we set the time because the
incubation period of the
incubation period in terms of the medical statistics.
Yeah.
The incubation period is 28 days. So when you took it 28 days, then you are eligible to have the second dose within the next phase of the month. You understand?
So whatever didn't take it during that time that you started the first dose, can I now start my first dose now?
You have up until this Friday to go to the health ministry and have your first dose taken to prepare you for July 9 or July 10. We are beginning to see queues now coming because increase in the cases, and some of them relatives are becoming personally affected. So we sit and wait until those things happen.
Let me ask you this, Chester. Though you're not a security person, that's not your work. You are strictly technical in your communicating serious health related issues. It is you the people look up to provide protection for them as health authority. If you observe things out there in the public that people are not adhering to the preventive measures, what do you do?
Our duty is to continuously remind you, continually encourage you.
Sometimes remind a messenger. Now
because you don't want. I don't think we want to reach that period where people will be there will be a crackdown on people and all before we get serious. No, people take this for joke. All true, we be advancing people. You must take this thing. And we are glad now, at least for the vaccine we have, all the 96,000 doses, we've now vaccinated 65,590 persons now for the vaccine up to this day. Now we also intend to increase the number with the aid of our partners within the coming days in talking about the other parts of the counties where the vaccine were administered. So we sure we can exhaust this 96,000 dose before July 10th. We are confident in that. Now, there are worries and concern also that 96,000 doses out of almost 5 million persons is infinite testimony. We say yes. But interestingly, this was actually brought to vaccinate initially our health workers. They are our frontliners. The health workers themselves renege in taking the vaccine.
Some of them?
A lot of them. Me challenging on the health workers. Up to now.
If the health workers will express
because this web I mean it's very ununderstandable because you are the person for which you can be protected for. We had that pass of the Ebola crisis, and you know what it means. We brought them, and you can. So we had to. You cannot go down somebody trying to say, "Oh, if you take the thing, you can't do it." That give you sorrow, and it's voluntary. It's voluntary.
If as a risk communicator, if you can sit here and say some of the health workers are skeptical on this particular vaccine, they are reneging on it. Don't you think it speaks to the fact to someone out there that, well, if the health workers are not taking it, they know medical thing. Why should I go for it?
You see, let me tell you something. It's not the thing is just the issue of reluctance to want to take it, and people got all sort of conspiracy or we call conspiracy theory. The government Liberia work with its partners, the United States government, the COVA facility, the Center for Disease Control, the United States Center for Disease Control, to ensure that the antigens met well for Liberia and met well for the human body. And we were satisfied. It would not be just gone and went for vaccine. Now, we brought it for you. You refuse it. Your own free will. Now we're hearing now in India is not allowing the AstraZeneca vaccine again out of the country. Again, our good friends, the COVA facility, the United States government, the EU, WHO, UNICEF have come again. So we'll begin to give them World Bank will give them 2.6 million doses of vaccine. We expect those doses in the country by the middle part of July. We just hope again that our people will come. And this time around, it's the Johnson and Johnson and Moderna.
You know, Chester, with the current wave of COVID-19 cases in the country, what do you think? What do you think? You know, given what happened initially, the government had to declare a state of emergency, lockdown, all of that. Now we have a new variant. Of course, you've just confirmed one case of the new variant that could spread also. What do you think this could lead us to if the cases continue to rise?
Like I said earlier, all options are on the table in terms of protecting the country and protecting the lives of the people. We cannot continue all us intentionally affecting people. So we have to wait. The government, this is a more policy issue that we look forward to the government, and we know His Excellency is working also with the incident management system and all other relevant bodies talking about the government Liberia in this totality to reach an ambiguous solution and resolution to this. But in the meanwhile, for us, we are seeing what we can do now is that we put the buckets back outside. Let's begin to wash the hands. Let's begin to avoid the crowded areas. Let's begin to avail ourselves for testing. Let's begin to wear the mask when we are in public areas. Let now take the vaccine. If we take the vaccine, we'll not become severe as it is now, what we are seeing just hours ago at the treatment unit.
How often do you people, risk management communication specialists, visit rural areas to engage with the people there on local radios, you know, about this COVID-19 vaccine?
As a matter of fact, the system is structured in such a way that each county have what we call a health promotion officer at the county level. a health promotion officer at the district level.
Mm.
At that level, we work. What you see me doing here, it has been done now in Banga, it's been done in Maryland, it's been done in Kavala, it's been done all over. So I don't have to necessarily leave Monrovia to go there. We work with the county health team, ensuring that the people are fully aware. The same thing you see us in the community for door to door, encouraging people to go and take the vaccine, encouraging people to take the test. The same they are doing. So the issue is you yourself will have to avail yourself to be vaccinated. You have to yield to the advices of the health authorities. The protocols are clearly stated. You cannot be in home-based care and you are violating the procedure and protocol surrounding home-based care. When the monitors are gone in the night, you are now to one shop, crowded places, going to drink your beer and infecting people. We cannot do that.
Do you think we've really done enough in educating our citizens in the fight against the COVID-19? Because given the actions, the two major national actions we took, state of emergency, lockdown, now whether the lockdown has been lifted entirely, we've returned to normalcy despite the upsurge of this COVID-19. Why can we go step back a little bit to some of the draconian actions we took yesterday?
I like how we said earlier on, we hope we don't reach that point. We know the issue of the lockdown brought to us both economic and mental strains. We hope we cannot go back. However, the government has the mandate to protect its people. The government has a mandate to sustain the peace and the security of the country, which is health, which is a security issue. All options are on the table, and we know that within the few days, the government will announce new measures.
Okay, you know, quickly, he's Chester Smith. Chester Smith is the risk communications pillar lead at the incident management system. He's here to educate the public on the COVID-19 pandemic as it keeps, sprouting all over in Liberia. My name is Matthias Labindi. You're listening to Nothing to Hide and Sky 107.20. If you're watching us there on Facebook and you're having problem with the network, switch to our YouTube channel. That's why we've extended our channels of dissemination to the YouTube. So we're also screening live there. If you can watch us clearly on Facebook, just go right there on YouTube and type Sky FM and TV Liberia. You'll be able to see us there. Chester, I just want to ask you one more question before I engage the public. What are the communities affected? People have run away from responding to their treatment and so on. They've gone back in the rural communities. People need to know that this community of ours has XYZ people in our midst.
Currently, the epi curve continues to show central Monrovia, a densely populated area. As far as Monserrato in this fight, we gave you that start. Monserrato in this fight continue to show that you have a huge caseload in Monserrato County, where in we talk about the central Monrovia belt, you have Bushwa Island, you also have the Somalia Drive, and portion of what we call the Commonwealth, that is the lower Johnsonville end. The cases keep coming from there, so that link. On the issue of persons, we are in the business of inundating people on the basis of their health condition. However, we just want to emphasize that we all need to whether you live the central Monrovia, of which is continue to show the epi curve, yet you need to show yourself out to be tested. Our people are doing what we call community surveillance testing, and you saw in your community, you will see them again in your community. Avail yourself and then see that Liberia this thing does not overwhelm us, and that we as courageous people will continue to remain safe.
Thank you. It's Chester Smith. Let me quickly hear from you. All the questions you've been asking lately, statements you've been making about this COVID-19, and my good friend, he's called like 3, 4, 5 times now saying that he's gone for his vaccine, he's not getting there. I don't know whether it's finished or so. But now you have the risk communications payload lead, specialist here, Mr. Chester Smith. Is from the incident management system. Let's hear you now. If you're there watching us anywhere around the world, you have families back here, of course. So yeah, call back. Let's hear you too. Call us on 07777 07777 and on WhatsApp and IMO as well. Let's hear you. Hello.
Good afternoon, Matthias.
Good afternoon, sir. Let's hear you. Mr. Harris, please speak.
Yeah, my name is J.E. Harris, and I call from Bro, Ivano Street.
Yeah, Mr. Harris, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for your brilliant explanation, Mr. Smith. But I only seen virus with the symptoms you turn yourself in. You guys allowing people to go to their houses and sending contact tracers there to look after them. One, number two, you made mention about $2,000 that you spend on a patient.
A
But
day.
when you are saying detail, how you spend that $2,000 on a patient, in what means? Lastly, on the issue of the vaccine, you want to know whether you're paying for incentive for the vaccine or the vaccine is coming in free. Thank you.
You want to know whether the vaccine is paid for or is coming in free. Let's hear from you too. Call us on those numbers. 0777 You can also reach out to us on WhatsApp or IMO on the number that's 0777 You'll be live on the program. For those of you that are listening here locally, you can call us on our numbers that you know. Let's hear from this person. Hello.
Hello, I will say hello to Chester, the guest in studio, and my dear brother, son of my boss. I think I have to introduce myself. Personally, I'm not well.
Now, one.
My dear brother, overheard like the medical workers, some of them are hesitating or taking this vaccine. Now, if Mr. Buffett is an electrician and they are afraid for people that know the work to come and accept his bidding, then other those are less good. Do you think they will refuse? And again, this particular sickness are overwhelmed with crisis that other people, when they got sick, sometimes with malaria, we have cancer, and we have some other things on the body, and they are kind of afraid to go there. But if these health records of doctors we're taking a workshop in counseling the people, because if you start stopping them, expecting of them, telling them negative things, you think they will come to you because I have experience from the Ebola crisis. And now, washing of hands and what have you. The government have to play a major role in this. Let's look at passengers in the car. Are they all crowded in the bigger vehicles and things? My dear brother, if you want this to continue, you're at the health sector, what you be able to come to people. But if you don't come to the people first and you have those that go on the feed, they shouting at this person, they have money. Oh, you got it, sick, let's go. We're going to do XYZ. Please address my question and be polite with me. 911 Prince President.
Thank you, sir. Let's hear from this other person on the program. The numbers are 0777 Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You have to pay attention to your phone. Good afternoon. All right. All right, we have to move on. Call us on those numbers. 0%. People usually call sometime they talking nothing and forget that they those numbers 0%777 It's about COVID, and it's not just as it used to, as it were yesterday when it just started. From what we are hearing now, every time you have a sickness and it leaves you for some time, and when it comes back, it comes with serious force. So I think that's how the COVID-19 is raging right now in our country. So the risk management team, not risk management, but incident management team, and who in studio here is risk communicate payload lead, Mr. Chester Smith, providing us information. You want to respond to the risk David Harris?
Yeah, just not
wants to know how do you
spend
spend the money on the patient, the $2,000.
First thing I will take the first, I will take the last from bottom to top. Well, the issue of people with prior health conditions that you talk about. Some people are ill already with malaria and stuff. You got no fear. The antigen of anthracyclical vaccine is built in such a way that it takes care of people with underlying health conditions. Even lactating mothers, meaning women who breastfeed, you or women who are pregnant, you want to take it increases the immune, what we call the protection of the children, unborn child. So there's no issue. Oh, I got pressure. Oh, I got this, and I can take that. We just calling you to take to fuel yourself. The other issue is that the refusal of health worker. How is they affecting other not to take it? The first thing we must realize that health is our own business. Your health, is your wealth. Now, if somebody to take a treatment, you yourself should understand that this your question should be, what are the benefits of me taking this? And when they say the benefit of taking your COVID vaccination is to protect you, children, and your country from COVID infection. The $2,000 we talk about, there's something we used in the COVID infection called the Selena. It's expensive. That is almost $100 for a piece. You need, each patient need 10 a day. 10 a day. And this is why we are telling you, you cannot wait until we reach to this point as a country. We can begin to isolate ourselves from the crowded areas. We can begin to adhere to the health protocols. The issue of the vaccine being paid for. Yes. We say hats off to the friendly people of the United States. We say hats off to the COVID facility that comprise of the EU countries. And we say thank you to WHO. We say thank you to UNICEF for purchasing that, the first 96,000 doses. The taxpayer money is $4 per vial, and they pay for that. Guinea are going to spend $20 per vial for the next one under the 2.6 million. And what is required of us is to avail ourselves
for testing, okay,
and vaccination.
Let me hear you.
Vaccine are free.
Let me hear you a little bit, Chester. Let me speak with Yaki. Yaki, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, man. Matthias and your studio guest. He's doing well, from the expose from the beginning. I didn't intend to cover a call when he said the antigen of this vaccine with underlying condition. Don't go that route, because in America here, no pregnant woman is taking the vaccine. So stop saying they protect babies, because there's no way that children from 1 month up or 0 months upward to even 9 have been approved. So the child in the womb that has nothing to do with the vaccine. So pregnant women are not allowed to take it right now in America. So don't say that in a girl that even pregnant women can take it. Don't give that information, because you don't have much details on that. And if people got diabetes and other stuff, right, and the on scripture met, they are not taking this vaccine also. I'm talking about information over here with the CDC. So in Liberia, good information that will be all right for the people to process and digest and encourage the people to take the vaccine. But the information that I didn't intend to call, but I just try to at least provide information so that you can at least, for the listeners to know. Pregnant women are not taking the vaccine right now. Any pregnant woman who's taking it, probably maybe she got advice by her doctor, because you got to have insurance over here when you're taking the vaccine. Those that don't have insurance are taking it at their own risk, because it's approved on the emergency level. It's not officially approved yet. So that's the reason why we that are taking it over here, they ask for our insurance information, our health insurance information before taking the vaccine.
Okay, yeah.
So thank you, man. Continue to flow, but I want to interject that.
It's Yaki Williams. Yaki calls.
Yaki
called us from New Jersey.
First thing, the vaccine that is being administered in America is not the AstraZeneca vaccine.
It's not the AstraZeneca vaccine.
It's been what is being administered in America is the Johnson & Johnson, is Pfizer and Moderna. It is clearly stated that pregnant women would not take it. They're not advisable now, because it's still on a trial for that purpose. So, but for AstraZeneca vaccine, they have gone through that, and it is right there on the WHO website that I just thought that my brother could go to and ask for the issue of breastfeeding mothers, pregnant women, or it is right on the WHO website that can take it. In the immune system, they say 80%. It protects the baby, unborn baby, 80% immune system. So, and we need not to begin to look at these things, but again, why we want to encourage our people to take the vaccine. We are at a crossroad in time that we are now in preparedness for Ebola. You know, Ebola is in at the next door and Guinea. But interestingly, we also battling an upsurge of Lassa fever in Liberia. And we want us to know that. And these signs and symptoms are very synonymous. And until we gotta do right in just within for June 13 to today's date, the 16th, we've had 63 alerts, 10 deaths
on Lassa fever.
And people, we gotta say these things and bring the hard facts. Just in Maserado alone, you have had 9 cases of Lassa fever, and Lassa fever is very dangerous also. You've seen symptoms where you will see people, your joints aching, people vomiting, and weakness and all. So what it take of us to go down and begin to take our vaccine? What is it that you can know your status? What is it? It's not definite. You get COVID, you pray that you go isolate and get treated. And the treatment save you.
Okay, you talk about Lassa fever. You talk about now. If we just wrap our heads around all of the diseases that usually visit us and we just spend more time talking about them, I'm very sure many of us will be a friend. 63 alert
cases of Lassa fever. In 10 counties, and the counties I don't want to pop
in 10 counties right
10
now.
counties in Liberia. You have Maserado, Lofa, River G, Grand Jita, Grand Bassa, Bon, River.
Can you just name the counties according to the numbers attached?
Yeah, there. In Maserado, you have 9 cases of Lassa fever. In Nima County, you have 10 cases of that. In Lofa, 24. You have River G 1, Grand Jita County 2 cases, Grand Bassa 8 cases, Bon 4, Riverside 1, Bombing 1, and Margibi County 3. And we're traveling day and night in these counties. So when we advise you, wear your mask to avoid those droplets, and you say the bad things.
Now the viewers are saying, why aren't you wearing your mask? But by the way,
you got yours.
But as
marks,
wrap up, Chester, what is that one thing you really want the people, the public, to seriously consider if they cannot do everything, but at least one thing to prevent themselves?
What we require of our people right now is to begin to adhere to the health protocols. And the protocols are wear your mask, avail yourself for testing, get your vaccination, stop shaking this hand, and stop being in crowded areas.
John T. Pele, he calls repeatedly to ask about this vaccine thing. He's asking, where can he go to get his vaccine?
The first dose of the vaccine, like I told you earlier, that has been open for 1 week, is now done only at the Ministry of Health. Because these things borders on logistics.
Yeah.
And we've now brought the vaccine in for other areas in preparation for the second dose. Second dose now started on June 1, and today the 16th day we are going, and we're beginning now to expand in country because the days that our other clients took is now reaching. Most of the people will start to take it by Friday. Most of the people in other counties.
Yeah.
So we are now seeing how we get dispatched, and this thing coaching facility. We have to protect the vaccine. You cannot damage the vaccine. So when you see people, why they get to my house? Yes, we did it just in May. We went to your church, we went to your homes, we say yes, and you say you aren't ready yet. Now it is available again. You can go get your first dose before July 10th. You are now prepared and eligible to take the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Last question from me before you wrap up. Given that you have a number of people they've run away from you, they are in communities. It suffice for if someone says that your effort is just a drop in an ocean, because as they're interacting with these people, they are probably coming in contact with people, and that may be spreading, sporadically.
With the strategy to work with the community leaders and community structures,
You have that in place already?
That's what we are doing now. All the community leaders are now with us. And we say hats off to them, including youth leaders. They are very pivotal to this, and we think we can get it. Remember now, we have one of our good. We have our surveillance system still active, and we are still beginning. This is how we're beginning to detect these cases at community levels. So all is done. The awareness is being heightened. We say thank you to our various partners, the United States government through USAID, Breakthrough Action, the RRC, UNICEF, WHO. We begin to still do what we can do to inform our people to go and avail themselves for testing, wearing their masks, washing their hands, and avoiding crowded places.
Lastly, just like, want to leave something with the public?
Yeah, lastly, I just like to say, this COVID situation is very scary. We as a people need to take cognizance of this, and we need to begin to take practical steps in our homes, in our family, in our communities. We need to keep the buckets outside again. We got to keep the mask on. We got to avoid the shaking hands and avoid parties, vending, these events, large gatherings, so that we can now continue to have this surge. So until we can do that, we as a people remain very vulnerable. We let a call on those who switch off the phone to begin now to put the phone on and avail themselves to be treated, so that they cannot extend this to their children or their relatives or those and enlarge the country.
Thank you so much. It's Mr. Chester Smith. Chester Smith is the risk communication pillar lead at the incident management system. And that's all the time we have for today's edition of the program. Nothing to hide. The COVID-19 is all of us business, like he said. And I want to also close to say that just as the way we run to the drugstore to get ourselves paracetamol when we feel headache, that's how we should treat this COVID-19 pandemic. Let us all collectively fight in ensuring that we get rid of it. That way, we'll be able to do all of our activities void of being assaulted because you are now positive of COVID-19. My name is Matthias Labindi.